Hello everyone, this is Too Tired to Care here with Shooter882, and we have a Five Nights at Freddy expert with us. Natalie, how are you?
I'm good. Hello.
Alright, Cody, Five Nights at Freddy's. Been out for a while now, well, all the games, but now we are in number 4. Are you a big fan of this?
Not really. I don't see the appeal that a lot of people do, but
Whoa, back up.
I personally I just don't see the appeal in it.
Well, overall, we've seen it move from pizzeria to amusement park, now back to the very beginning, involving pretty much the ultimate prequel.
Yeah, the beginning of the story. Actually, it goes backwards, the story, except for the third one where it kind of jumps into a future.
Okay, so since, Natalie, you're the expert here, why don't you tell us what the story is?
The story is from the first one we learned. It's hard to tell. There's really no story, but from what we learn, there's a pizzeria. You play as a night guard, and you learn from the phone guy who helps you, give you instructions that a tragedy happened at the pizzeria, and it's now what we assume haunted because the animatronics are after you for some reason.
So does this newest game go back and show what happened?
I think so, because you play as a child, and in the first game we learned that children were killed and maybe possibly haunt the pizzeria and the animatronics.
Okay, so it's kind of like this is why everything is happening kind of thing. It's almost like the Gears of War Judgment, how it goes back and shows what happened.
Well, so far in this game, we've seen that the gameplay is kind of a little different. Instead of just sitting around kind of monitoring monitors, doing different tactics to make sure you don't get attacked, this one puts you in a very up-close and person perspective where you're a small child in a room and you're moving throughout different areas of the house, and when you're in the room trying to protect yourself, you're going from door to closet to looking behind you, and it's scary because when you open up the door and you can't see anything and all you hear is breathing, to lock the door.
Footsteps.
Then you need to lock the door, or if you end up turning on the light, then it's you got
issues.
Yeah, you got a whole lot of problems. And
Yeah, Scott did a fantastic job making the game scarier.
Okay, see, what I've heard was that they actually made it less scary by basically just reading
I
the
feel
same
like
formula.
they made it, more scary. Because first 3 games, you just sit there and, a typical move left and right and look at the cameras to help you. This one, there's no cameras, and you same left and right look. But then there's behind you, and then there's front of you, your closet, and you gotta run and you gotta listen. That's the tricky part. You gotta really listen to hear if footsteps are breathing.
Yeah, the biggest change is the audio cues, from what I know of. Is that right?
I feel like he did a good job where you have to listen, because then you have to turn your volume up, and that's what makes the jump scares more scary and in your face.
Yeah, because I know that's the best way to get around, jump scares in most games at all is just turn the volume down. But if you want to actually play this, it sounds like you have to actually have it.
And it's really tricky. There's so much going on, especially behind you where you can't see.
Okay, so besides for the audio cues, is there anything completely different, like something that puts it apart from the previous games?
it kind of reminded me briefly of Among the Sleep, if you remember that game where you're an infant moving around. And since you're a small child in this, I got the same feeling. It's like small child and
the low point of view kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's
maybe innocent, vulnerable.
Yeah,
I think that's probably what they were going for, honestly. Because whenever you play as a child, it's very vulnerable. You can't exactly defend yourself.
Right. In this game, you can't. You just gotta listen and close the door. That's your only defense.
Doorways confirmed. Monster killer.
There's after night 1 and you beat that, before you start night 2, there's a little mini game where you called Fun with Plus Trap, I believe. And he starts out in a chair, and then it's dark and you got a certain amount of time, and then you hear your footsteps, and when you think he's getting close to the X on the floor, you turn your light on and he'll hide. But the goal is to really get him on the X. If you get him on the X, instead of starting at midnight, you start at 2 a.m.
Okay, so it's just a little doll that's on your character's bed?
Yeah, it's like in a hallway in a chair. It's weird, but it's creepy, and you gotta really listen for his little scurrying footsteps.
Okay. Oh, that's actually pretty cool that they do that, so that you can get a bonus.
Right. Yeah, a little bonus and a little scare.
That's cool.
Well, anyway, Natalie, thank you for the expertise in this beautiful game that scares the crap out of everyone. And everyone, give Five Nights at Freddy's 4 a try. Enjoy it. It will be available on mobile as well, so if you don't want to play on PC, you can get a hold of it there.